Good evening, salute. You are now rocking with the best chip game sports TV. Let me go ahead and throw those Mountain Dew shades on. We're going to throw some praise, then throw some shade. Praise. We welcome in the Fresh Prince of Dallas, new wide receiver coach. Coach Prince, come on, take a seat. We want to appreciate you. We want to give a great big hearty round of applause. Wide receiver coach Henry. Get him out of there. He's gone. And so I'm so happy that this wide receivers coach is gone. Because with the wide receiver core like you had this year, Mr. Henry, there was no reason for you not to have these guys on point and for them to have appeared as though they were coached up. There were many games that were electrifying and there were some explosive plays due to the talent of the wide receivers of the Dallas Football Cowboys. However, there was something lacking in many routes as it seemed as though the quarterback and those wide receivers were not in rhythm and not on the same page. Coach Prince comes to us from the Houston, Texans. He comes also from Detroit, where he spent 2014 season there with Coach Kellen Moore. They also have history going back to Boise. And so I think the Jones family is doubling down on offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, giving him a pat on the back, letting him know we believe in you. Let's give you something to help solidify your situation here so that we can win. And I sincerely hope that Coach Prince and Coach Moore are on the same page. And also, too, that Dak Prescott would be on the same page. And while we're talking about coaches, I believe we have to get rid of the quarterback coach of the Dallas Cowboys as well. I think if you think back, Dak Prescott was something special when John Kitna was here. I think John Kitna breathed a breath of fresh air into Dak, and he held Dak accountable. Certainly wish they could get Coach Kitna back. Be that as it may, we're going to deal with the wide receivers. And before we go there even, let's just think about just a few short years ago when Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin seemed like they were struggling. They were not the tight ends that we saw this year. And of course, Jarwin's been hurt here and there, and Schultz has stepped in and pretty much picked up the pace. One thing about Schultz, though, he needs to learn how to block. So this year, I really wouldn't mind if Blake and Schultz are gone. If Jarwin and Schultz are gone, like them, love them, appreciate the coaching that they got. But those cap hits that Schultz may bring, I think can, hinder us from bringing Amari back. And I really think we need Amari Cooper back. But you saw the tight end core become tight. They were coached up, and you can tell from one year to the next the difference in these players, I believe, had to be coaching. Example, if you look where the defense was last year and then look where the defense was this year, you see them coming from worst to first. And you got to give that credit to Dan Quinn, that defensive coordinator. He brought a defense together. He brought the locker room together. He made them believe together. And they fought hard together. And together, they had the ingredients to take us to the Super Bowl. The wide receivers couldn't get open. The routes wasn't crisp. Although Amari, the dancer and the artist that he is, He very nicely gets open quite a bit. But the wide receiver core, for what we had, should have shown more. And so I'm really believing that as Prince comes in, hopefully it's a breath of fresh air, number one. And number two, hopefully he will get each player to rise to new levels so that we can win. So I'm so happy, I'm rejoicing that Coach Henry is out of there. He didn't take the new contract, and we want to thank him for that. And Mr. Prince, now is your time. Coach Prince, is your time to shine. But Jerry Jones, if you're listening to me, while we're making coaching moves, let's do something to this offensive line coaching. Schemed up terribly this year. Was not on point. Was decent for a minute. Then they fell off. Could have had something to do with Kellen Moore. We need the first 6 games, Kellen Moore, for you to prove that you are that head coach material, but you're definitely the offensive coordinator of Dallas Football Cowboys. Salute to the new Prince. Let's do something with these wide receivers. It's game day, baby. Woo!